I'll start off by saying this. I have friends who have kids that watch this channel. Know this going into Toy Story 5. When you take them, they're going to walk out. They're not going to walk out wanting a toy. They're not even going to walk out wanting an iPad. They're going to walk out wanting a pig. That pig is so adorable. Like, I have considered not eating pork again. This is the most effective movie to do that. He needs to be protected at all costs. So Toy Story 5 is the newest Toy Story sequel in the Toy Story franchise, and I gotta say that I'm impressed. They're consistent. Every few years, a Toy Story movie comes around to remind us about certain life lessons in connection to our childhood, and Toy Story 5 is no exception. Toy Story 5 follows sort of Woody and Buzz Lightyear again, but actually what I appreciate about Toy Story 5, and that what makes it stand out as a sequel, is that it follows different characters kind of this time. It's actually more about Jessie this time around. I got a lot of Toy Story 2 spirit in Toy Story 5 that I did not expect, and I really enjoyed. This movie was emotionally enthralling. Conceptually, it's about the fact that we're still following the girl from Toy Story 4 that Andy left the toys with from the end of Toy Story 3. Bonnie, that's the cute little girl's name. We're following Bonnie this time around, but she's actually having trouble socially adjusting and making friends because she's so used to playing with toys. But a lot of kids in her group now and they have iPads, they have tablets, they have technology that entertains them now instead of toys. So there's a harshness, and she's struggling with relatability in that. Toys want to help Bonnie make friends because that's their initial intent, is to help kids connect. So that's really what the movie's operating on story-wise. It's where the stakes are. But then Bonnie gets an iPad in her own home, and the toys view it as a straight-up infection. Because immediately, the girl isn't playing with the toys anymore. She's not as connected, she's always tired, she's playing on the iPad instead, and it starts to show that there's a conflict between the toys and the technology, because LilyPad, the iPad Bonnie receives, also has a conscience like the toys. So there's a bit of alienation and tribalism going on between the toys and the iPad. Sounds simplistic enough, it sounds almost boomer energy when you hear it. But what I love about Toy Story 5 is that it actually approaches the conversation with nuance on how kids are affected by these devices and the technology and the intent behind it. I love that this movie approaches it in a mature way that's digestible for iPad parents or parents of my generation that want to just put their kids on a device or a tablet to solve the problems. But what I like about Toy Story 5 is it's not insulting those parents. It's just bringing something to their attention in a respectable and conversational way. It's such a cool way for the art to approach it. I don't even have kids, but I got so much optimism from this movie and the concept of, I've worried about the idea of having kids one day. I do kind of want them, and at the time if that ever happens, I've been concerned about how they would be raised in a world with so much technology. I love that this movie highlights that, but also does it in a way that doesn't feel like boomer doom and gloom. A lot of movies can kind of run into that trap of being boomer doom and gloom, saying all the young kids are done for because they have technology. I love the nuance here because when Bonnie gets the LilyPad, she doesn't just immediately hate her toys. She still has a soft spot for her toys. She just also likes that, and she's distracted by the technology too. The way the toy characters like Jessie, Woody, and sometimes Buzz, who gets a little bit short-sighted in this, have to tackle with their own tribalism that they project essentially onto the technology. I thought that was a really fun theme to explore with this movie, and I thought it succeeded in exploring that with flying colors. It also helps that this movie feels more like an ensemble piece than the other Toy Story films, so when you're cutting around to other characters, you're getting little moments of insight with the parents of Bonnie as well and how they view technology. And it's so fascinating to see all those character dynamics work together to make a cohesive piece instead of following one specific character necessarily. Jessie is more the eyesight we follow in this movie a la Toy Story 2, and I think it works the better for it. Her dealing with the fear and insecurity of being forgotten by her kid, just like we're dealing with now with that fear on a mass scale for toys and how their kids view new technology that comes into the home. As a comedic relief, I thought Smarty Pants was my favorite addition. He's voiced by Conan O'Brien. He's a potty trainer technological toy, but he's also a great insight character-wise into showing that technology is even imbued in our toys. So why are we alienating toys that have technology in them if even toys from previous generations can have it? It does it with heart and style and comedic relief, but it also doesn't feel like it's punching down to kids or technology either. It's mature in its approach. So I really enjoyed LilyPad's addition because she is a realistic character. I like that it isn't just an evil villain necessarily. This movie isn't a hero and villain story. Central conflict at the end of the day is, how do we help Bonnie? How do we help these kids connect with other kids? How do we form a bond? How are friends made? When is friendship authentic? When is it not? How do you identify that growing up as a socially awkward kid? This movie tackles all of that in such a mature and refreshing way. It's digestible for both adults and kids. This movie actually moves at a nice pace. It flows along steadily. It's pondersome. It takes its time. It doesn't have that TikTok speed rate energy to it like Mario, where it just feels like it needs to speed run to the end with no in between emotion. Kid can actually learn something from this while still laughing and having a good time and enjoying the animation and the beautiful spectacle that it is, because this movie looks gorgeous. It almost needs to go unsaid. Of course, a Pixar movie in 2026 is going to look amazing. Not only does it look amazing, it also has value to it. It has a lesson, but it's also enjoyable for everybody. Toy Story 5 is a prime example of an animated kids movie that, yes, is made for kids, but also it has a lot more filmmaking technique to it. It's also very mature for adults to enjoy. The parents can get a lot from it too. Mature in its execution, pondersome in its conversations, and it doesn't treat kids like they're dumb. Thank you. It's all the more insulting when a kids movie treats kids like they're dumb, because they are smarter than we give them credit for. It's mature in its execution, pondersome in its conversation, and it trusts its audience to draw parallels and put together things that are unsaid and connections that are unspoken of in the movie. To pick a downside with Toy Story 5, there is an element with Buzz that I feel like wasn't really all that explored that well. At times, I just kind of forgot it was in the movie, but then it would be brought back up, and it's like, oh, I guess you care about this person. Overall, Toy Story still got it, man. I've heard people around my age range say they should have just stopped after 3, but I never saw Toy Story as Andy's movies. I've always seen them as these animated pieces that come in every few years to just give us something new about life to think about. And Toy Story 5 is no exception. I really enjoyed it. Guys, what did you think of Toy Story 5? Did you enjoy it? Are you taking your kids to see it? What's your favorite Toy Story movie this far in the franchise? Thank you so much for watching Scatterbrained Reviews. Leave a like, leave a comment, come talk about movies with us, come talk about stories with us. Tongue twister, goodbye.